In this module, I'm going to show you exactly how to identify non-profitable search terms in your search term report or write in Amazon and then add them as negatives so they stop spending money. So for example, if we're targeting a single keyword as a broad match type and there's 10 keywords in there, 2 of them are good, 8 of them are not profitable, I'll show you how to identify those keywords and then add them as negatives so that broad search term goes from a not profitable search term to a very profitable search term. So let's jump right in. Okay, so I'm here in the campaign manager. First thing is we want to open up reports. So remember right here, measurement and reporting, reports. This is going to open up. I'm going to click create a report. And then once it loads, we want to select sponsor products, search term report, summary last 30 days. Now run the report. Here it is. And I'm going to click download here and open it up. Okay, so once we open the search term report, I'm going to highlight everything, click sort and filter, filter. Now, the same way that I wanted to identify profitable search terms, I want to identify non-profitable search terms. First thing, match type, exclude exact, right? Because if it's exact, we can just lower the bids. So it doesn't make sense to add negatives because there is no keywords that we can add as negatives. You just pause that keyword. So for broad phrase and auto, these are all of the search terms. Again, we want to go to the ACOS and decide what is our range that we consider not profitable. So I'm going to sort by descending here and let me put anything that's above 40% ACOS. So I'm going to click on the filter here, click choose, greater than 40%. Oh, 40%. Here we go. And these are the keywords that have an ACOS greater than 40%. They're right here, and I want to start adding them as negatives. So the first thing I'm going to do, what I like to do, is just highlight everything in like a light red color. Just makes it easy for me if I lose the filter or something for me to figure out which ones I should be adding as negatives. Then from there, I'm going to sort the campaign name from ascending to descending. This is going to be easy because if I have multiple search terms in the same campaign, it's not hard to figure it out. So I'm going to hide these because I no longer need them. Now I know my campaign name and I know my customer search term. So I'm going to start with the first campaign. I'm going to copy, go back to campaign manager, paste the campaign name, search for it. There the campaign is. I'm going to click on it. Then we're going to go back. We're back in the search term report. I'm going to pull customer search term from here. Then go back here. Click on negative keywords. Add negatives. Paste that keyword. Now, there's 2 types of negative keywords. There's negative exact and negative phrase. Negative exact means that you're going to negative just this keyword. So this campaign will no longer show for this keyword. Again, you can do this on a campaign level and you can do this on an ad group level, but if you've been following our structure, you only have one ad group in the campaign. If you have multiple ad groups, feel free to add it just in that ad group. Now, with negative phrase will basically trigger for anything that includes that phrase. So not just this word hydrolyte, hydrolyte electrolyte powder, hydrolyte unflavored, hydrolyte sugar-free, hydrolyte anything. If you have hydrolyte as a negative phrase, Amazon will detect that the keyword hydrolyte is in it and add it as a negative. Now, obviously this is not a good idea for us because we know, if we go into here, that some of the keywords that include hydrolyte were profitable. So why would I negative all of them out? So when do we use negative phrase? So here's when we use negative phrase. One time I was running ads for a campaign that was a card holder. It was a credit card holder, and the word vaccine card holder popped up. So this is a situation where this credit card holder will never ever need the word vaccine as a keyword because it's not a vaccine card holder. It can't fit a vaccine. It's only made for credit cards. So this is a situation where you can utilize negative phrase because in no capacity ever do you want to see a word vaccine. And if your product pops up for someone searching for a vaccine card holder, you don't want it to show because if they click on it by accident, they charge you money and you're never going to make any money because your card holder can't hold a vaccine card. So that's an example of when we use negative phrase. You can also use negative phrase if you want to negate any of like a certain branded term. So if you're a person who doesn't want to show up for any of your branded search terms in non-branded campaigns, you can negate in all of your campaigns, negative phrase, your brand name. And this means that anytime you show up for your brand search terms, it will only be in branded campaign. So you can actually capture the true effect of the amount of sales you're getting from branded search terms versus non-branded. Now, one more way that we can do this without the search term report is also going right into Campaign Manager. So I'm going to jump back into the Campaign Manager. I can click on any one of those campaigns. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to go to the ad group, click on the ad group right here. And then I'm going to click on search terms. So in this case, instead of having this filter, right, where we use the ACoS is less than 40, I'm going to filter by ACoS is greater than 40%. So percent's right here, click apply. So let's assume that we did find a keyword here. So I'm just going to remove this. So let's assume one of these two keywords, maybe 29% is too high for us. Let's just put that as an example. What I could do is I could click on actions right here and add as a negative exact. And this would immediately add it as a negative exact. If you want to do this at scale, you can also highlight all or select multiple keywords and then just add them as a negative keyword. Then you click here and it says, how do you want to do it? Negative exact or negative phrase. And then you can say, okay, I didn't mean to select this one. I just want this one. And then you can add it as a negative keyword. And that's pretty much it. So to summarize, those are two ways that you can add negative keywords in Campaign Manager. One is directly in the Campaign Manager at each different campaign. And this is a nice way when you're kind of doing a quick audit, right? You sort by ACoS of all of your campaigns and you see, let me look at the problem campaigns. You jump into each one and right then and there, as you identify their search terms that aren't profitable, you can add them as negatives. And now the second way, which is a streamlined way, is to download the search term report, highlight and filter everything, sort by the ACoS range that you want. So for example, greater than 40, greater than 50% ACoS, and then select all of those keywords, identify the campaigns in Campaign Manager and add them as negatives.